Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. And on the bench, the lounge bench table, we have TIDRADIO TD-H3, and TIDRADIO were very kind enough to send me this for a review. And I think this is the third thing they sent me, because they sent me the H8 about a year or so ago. So we're going to have a look at this radio today. And having played with it for a couple of days, I think it's an extremely nice little radio. And the camera does things it shouldn't, as usual. It's a very nice little radio. It fits into your hand very nicely. It's very compact. And if you compare it to the first Baofeng UV5 I bought probably 10 years ago, I think we've come a long way in those years, and it's more or less the same in size. Might be a little bit narrower, might be a little bit fatter, but it has got a much bigger battery in it. It's got a 2.5 amp hour battery in the TD-H3 and only an 1800 in the UV5. Okay, let's put that one aside. And this of course has got many more features than the early Chinese radios had, which I'll try and go into. And one of them particularly is Bluetooth. If I press that and hold it, you get a Bluetooth symbol come up, and I can now program that on my phone using the app. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I always call it OddMaster, but it might be OddMaster, but I'll show you that later. I'm going to turn that one off again. Of course, it's got a nice colour display. My only criticism with colour displays is once they time out, you can see nothing on the screen. Unlike these old Baofengs, when they go dark, you can still see something. So the only way you know it's on is a couple of LEDs that flash at the top. I don't personally see much point in colour displays. It looks pretty, I suppose, but I'd rather have a monochrome display. In fact, I was quite happy to watch black and white television all those years ago, if the programs were better than they are today. But enough of all that. I'm going to try and go through most of the functions on this. But first of all, I think we better look at TIDRADIO's website and the pricing. And really, I think the pricing is not unlike what I paid for this UV5R all those years ago. And you're getting a lot more for your money these days. So let's get the websites up and have a look at it. Okay, that's the TIDRADIO website showing the H3. And of course you get a load of stuff with it, which I'll show you later, and various pictures, picture of the radio, all the things it can do, programming cables and programming sockets and all that, and the how to program it using your phone. And what are we going to look at? The price. Well, it's $29.99 US dollars. I think that's pretty cheap for what you're getting there. If you prefer something other than dollars, British pounds, £22. That is extremely cheap for a decent radio like this. I suspect there'll be postage on top of at least £5, but I don't know, because it doesn't show. You don't get to find that out until you buy one. But We could even do it in euros if you really want me to. 26 euros, okay. For £22, that's dirt cheap, isn't it, for what you're getting? I'm pretty sure this bow fan cost about that 10 years ago. So that's that, and I can scroll down all this. Lots of nice pictures, and different colour ones. How exciting. I don't think I want a different colour one. All the different things it will do. Dual watch. It's got mic gain. It's got 199 channels. Memory. DTMF, Vox, Scramble, Roger Bleep. Hate Roger Bleep. Scan. See, all the tone codes. New technology built-in chip. Type-C programming cable. Okay. And wireless programming on Bluetooth. Wireless programming. I think that's enough of all that. But I want to show you what they're charging on Amazon for this, which I think is unbelievably ridiculous. $45.99 on Amazon. How do they make up these prices? There's no way I would spend $45.99 on Amazon to buy it, and they charge you postage on top. So you're looking at least 50. I don't know how they make these prices up. Do they actually sell on Amazon? It's got good reviews, I think. Yeah, it's got a 5-star review. Another 5-star review. 4-star review. 1-star review. Oh well, it's always one, isn't it? 3-star review. But that's enough of all that. And I think you could probably get it elsewhere as well. You could probably get it on AliExpress. I've always liked AliExpress because you often get free postage and their prices are very competitive with what they're charging on TID Radio. So there you go. That's the website. And I will leave links to those two websites in the description if you want to buy one from TID Radio. Preferably not from Amazon though at that price. So what's to do next? I'll have a think and come back to you. Okay, I'm just going to give you a brief tour of the radio. Where should we start? Okay, we've got at the top here, that's to go into the menus. And as I said, I think I said, it's got more menus than you can shake a stick at. It's got 56 menus, most of which you'll never use. But if you're used to using the Bofang UV5, you'll be very familiar with most of those that are in here. It's just got a few exotic ones which are of no interest most of the time. So, and then you can exit from the menu by using that. It's got a back arrow on it. That's gone back. And that also changes VFO and memory mode. And what I've done here is I've labelled one of the memories, which is a repeater, WR. And of course you've got A display, B display, which times out. And then the one you've selected, which is highlighted in green, is displayed up there. But why can't I have my WR up there, which is it's GB3WR, the repeater? Well, no matter what I do with it, cycling through this, I can get back to VFO, then I've got two options for memory, and neither of them bring up WR. No, it's just a minor point. It's not really that important. But all across the top you see you've got high, H for high power, wide for wide deviation, and that means that CTCSS is off, but if I press it, you see it comes up CT. Telling you you've got tone on transmit. Right, one criticism, and it's kind of a big one really, is the buttons are too small, or they're too close together. I've not got big hands. In fact, I've got rather small hands. And I think anybody with bigger hands than me would find it very hard to press the individual buttons. I've been trying to press buttons and I've been pressing two at once. And you think about the UV5, they're probably roughly the same size, but they're spaced out. But whatever. I guess you got to make space for the big display. But it's not a major thing, I guess. Most of the time it's okay, but just a bit annoying. Okay, let's turn it around and have a look at it. What we got to look at on top, nothing much. Antenna, LED for torch, of course. On the side we've got the usual panel that comes down, and this is where you've got speaker jack, microphone, headset, whatever. And I wonder what that was initially for, because I never read the manual. Because you've got one of those underneath, but that's a charging port only, USB-C charging port, whereas that is for programming. But having played with this, I can use a programming cable and program it with chirp, so it still supports that, which is nice, because I must admit I prefer chirp to program radios because I've been using it so long. So underneath we've got, as I said, charging port. Yeah, an LED that tells you when it's charged. On this side we've got some rather odd things. We've got the main PTT, which refers to the top item on the screen there. But it's also a secondary PTT which will transmit on the bottom one. So if I press the top one, that's transmitting on there. Press the bottom one, transmits on that one, and I brought up a repeater now doing that. So there you go, it's got two PTTs. Most odd, I've never seen that on a Chinese radio before. I think it could be quite a useful feature, to be honest. Otherwise you have to shift the item into the top screen, whatever. And the bottom one is the programmable button where you can have torch, which I've never ever used on any Chinese radio, and by default a long press will give you FM radio. I've no interest in FM radio, so I've programmed that to be squelch defeat. So there you go. I think that's just about explored everything on the radio itself. Could take the battery off, what's the point? So what do I do next with it? I have to think about that. It's a big question. Okay, well, back to colour displays. This is the TD-H3, and when I received this, I found, if you watch my video, that the colour display radiated RF noise, which lowered the sensitivity on receive. A repeater I could hear quite normally outside, 40 miles away, was unreadable when the display was lit up. And I wasn't happy with that, so I modified it by, well, you can watch my video on it, but I put a load of pieces of very thin wire across, and that solved that problem almost straight away. Now, I was worrying that when this came, it would be just as bad. Stop squeaking. Stop scratching. Anyway, having tried this, done my normal test as outside, receiving the repeater 40 miles away, which is clearly audible on any of my handhelds in the same spot in the garden. I didn't have any issues with the display being lit when the display was lit up. So it appears this one is not radiating noise, or if it is, it's very, very minimal. It was hard to tell, but I think it's very minimal. I could certainly hear clearly what people were saying when the display was lit up. So I wonder why this one suffers and this one doesn't. But I'm glad I don't have to modify this one. I wouldn't want to take this apart. It's too small. So this is I think this is an earlier model than the TD-H, so it's not like they've done any sort of modification. I think this radio's been around quite a while now, because there's hundreds of videos on YouTube about it. Okay, well that's solved that one. So what do I do next? I have to think. Okay, well my videos tend to be a little bit random in their order. I forgot to say what you get with it. Well, you get a manual, of course, and it's a pretty decent manual, I've got to say that. It's in decent English, and one thing I'm quite impressed with is, I can find it, it explains all the memory items in quite good detail. So, well done for doing a decent manual, that's what I say. Because the original Baofeng manuals were fairly awful. And they've even got pictures of the shortcuts, which you can get on the front panel. Pictures and whatever. That's not shortcuts, that's the whole manual in detail with little pictures. Okay, whilst you get, well, why do they have to give me this charger with a non-standard UK plug on it? I mean, it's virtually useless, isn't it? It's not a massive problem. I wouldn't have used this charger anyway. I just charge it off a normal USB plug that I've got plugged in. And you get strap, and you get belt clip, which I haven't bothered with yet. Seems it's a plastic belt clip, but it seems fairly strong, and a programming and charging cable. So there you go, fairly decent length by the looks of it as well. So that's what you get in the box. Can't say fairer than that, can you? Apart from the radio, of course, and the antenna. And I think really now I need to move on to programming the radio, because I think I've explored all the options really, haven't I, on the front panel. I mean, there are certain shortcuts. For instance, if you want to set it to low power, but you've got to go into the menu to do it. If I press menu and then power, then I have to, no, I don't want to do that. Press the menu again and then change the power. It would be nice to see that more easily accessible than having to go through all that, because you could do that on the Baofengs. Just one press on one of the keys and it would change power or whatever. I'll get out of that anyway. I think, does reverse work if you press it and hold? No, it doesn't. One of them does. I'm trying to remember which one it is. Scanning. Yeah, scanning works just by pressing and holding it. In theory it does. It's not, yeah, it's scanning. So that's working. That's the only one that works on a single press. The other ones you have to go in the menu, which is not particularly helpful. But at least you know where they are, those menu options, quickly. So yeah, I need to go on to programming. That's what I need to do next. So that's the next part of the video. Okay, one of the things I forgot, and I'm going to say this because I think it's quite important, and it's mic gain. You've got variable mic gain on this radio. You can go anywhere between 0 and 9, so you've got 10 levels. I think that's a really nice feature because the old Baofangs were notoriously quiet on transmit. It's nice that you've got some ability to set the gain, the mic gain. Shame it doesn't go up to 11, but never mind. I've set it to 9, and I talked to somebody on the local repeater a couple of days ago. He said it sounded very good. So that's a good feature, having the mic gain on it. So now we'll get on to programming. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to show you how you can program the radio using this app, which I call OddMaster, but whatever. First of all, I've got to turn Bluetooth on, press and hold that, get a Bluetooth symbol comes up. Let's click on this one. Connect Bluetooth. TD-H3. That's fine. Hope you can see it alright. It's best I can do. Select model. TIDRADIO. H3 ham, because this is a ham version. And hasn't done it, has it? Maybe it has. Okay, let's try reading it. I'm going to try reading from the radio. Yep, it's working. As you can see, it's telling you on there, and the status bar across. So that's working. Works quite well, this. One thing I have found though is if you're receiving a signal on the radio, absolutely fails to do anything. It's got to be a quiet channel. So what it's come up with here is the memories. I'm on channel 1, receive frequency 145600, transmit 1450, screen's timing out, frequency hop, load of rubbish, transmit power high, bandwidth wide, busy lock, whatever, and the tone, encode tone 94.8. Any of these I can change to different ones, but that's fine. And I've labelled it as WR because it's the name of that repeater, GB3WR. So I could look at another one, channel 1 that was, and why are they all lit up? Channel 3, 427, I've got nothing on channel 3. I deleted all the memories except 2 of them. It seems when you do this, it programs a load of rubbish in sometimes. Or I don't know what it's done. That's channel 2, that's the only one I have properly programmed into this radio. So that again is a repeater channel on 430-9125. And I haven't given it a name, but I can. I'm going to call this one, come on, don't want to call it SO. Give it a space again. SG. Move that along. Turn that off. So I've now called it SG because that is the name of the Stroud repeater on UHF. And so that's how that works. And get rid of that. Also, I can change functions. A-band frequency mode, not sure what that does. C mode. That's the VFO, obviously. FM, DTMF, light control, voice prompt language, timeout, timers off. Save, scan, reverse, don't know. Roger, beep off, Shortcut key, I set that to lamp, that's the one on the side, down there. You can have that as all these different options, but none of these are of much interest. Weather may be of use if you're in America, but not here. Cancel that one. And the long key I've set to monitor, which is squelch to feet. And there's a few other settings you can change. Mic gain set to 9. Whatever. And now that just shows you basic programming. Now should be able to send that back to the radio. I think it's lost connection again. No, it hasn't. I don't want to read it again. I want to send it. I don't think I want to do that. Let me pause a minute. Silly me, it's down there, isn't it? You can write it now. And it's programming it to the radio. Confirm. And now, see, it's done that now. It's programmed a channel into memory 3, which I deleted because there was a load of rubbish programmed into a few of the memories. I think that might be a weather station frequency. So now what it's done, I changed that name, or gave that one a name, to SG, and it's programmed that in. That's come up there with the main frequency. So, it works quite well. My only complaint is, I have to program all these memories individually on this app. There seems to be no way to clone the memories off another radio like the TD-H3, because I want all my memories the same on all the radios, and there is no easy way, it seems, unless I've missed it, to do that on this app, in which case I should go back to using Chirp, because I'm more familiar with that and I can do it far quicker and easier. But that, by the way, it works, and it works quite well. So that's the programming bit. I think that's enough of that. I could go into it in more depth, but what's not much point, is there? You can work it out. It's not that difficult if you really want to do it. And the final straw for this radio, I would like to go and test its power output, see if it meets the specifications of 5 watts on VHF and UHF. And I'll do that on my Hewlett-Packard power meter, which is pretty accurate, I think, probably within 1% anyway. So we're back to the workshop. Okay, let's do a power test on 2 meters on 145, and got it wired up to my 30 dB power attenuator, otherwise I'd blow my power sensor up. which can only handle 100 milliwatts. So I transmit up to the power meter. .6 watts, more than good enough. Half a watt more than the specifications. Fine. I'm just going to try it on low power. Okay, go up to the power meter. Transmit. .9. Supposed to be 2. Good enough. More than good enough. Right, that's fine. Let's try it on 70 centimeters. Right, transmitting on 430. 5.6 watts. Pretty good. No complaints there at all. Okay, let's try that one on low power. Reprogram the radio. Let's try low power. Just a minute. .6. That's pretty good. More on 70 on low power. Oh well, that's good. Good test. I could do more technical tests like harmonics, but probably not going to bother unless anybody wants to know what the harmonics look like. And the receiver sensitivity is good. So my conclusion on this radio, it's a very nice little radio for not a lot of money. Very good value for money, I'd say. Got a few idiosyncrasies, but no real problems with it at all. So thanks again to TID Radio for sending me this TD-H3. If you're interested, check out the links in the description. Bye for now.